All right, it's time now for story number 5. We're moving on to the second hour of the count, threats to justice. Joe Biden's Department of Justice appears to be still allowing protesters outside of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home, also Amy Coney Barrett's home, even after police arrested California resident Nicholas John Roski for allegedly traveling there to murder Justice Kavanaugh to save Roe v. Wade. Meanwhile, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she is touting that she blocked Supreme Court security bill after the Kavanaugh threat. So joining me now is the host of the Michael Savage podcast, the author of Our Fight for America, The War Continues, Dr. Michael Savage. Dr. Savage, great to have you with us, as always, on the count. So this group called Ruth Sent Us, that definitely wasn't sent by Ruth Bader Ginsburg, they're organizing protests at Supreme Court justices' residences, and they're now honoring this legacy, as they see it, of Justice Ginsburg. What do you think of that? We know that she was a left-leaning judge, but it doesn't seem like she would have condoned the madness outside of homes and also threats on one of her colleagues' life.
Well, I can't speak for her. She was a terrible human being. I don't know how they have deified this woman. She never should have been appointed to the Supreme Court. We're going back to RBG. Remember, she had been the chief counsel for the radical left communist ACLU. That would be like taking a lawyer for the Ku Klux Klan and nominating that lawyer to the Supreme Court, and then having that Ku Klux Klan chief lawyer put on the Supreme Court in a vote of 96-4. The Republicans bent over backwards for Ginsburg. She was a lifetime Stalinist, and I have nothing but horrible things to say about her. She was a demon. So I wouldn't be surprised at what is going on today. It's a continuation of the hatred that has been unleashed by the Biden gang. We are, Logan, living in an age of pure hatred right now, in which the mental pollution that is being disseminated by the Biden gang is worse than any air pollution I've ever seen. The most accessible, and I'm reading from a book I wrote a few years ago, the opening, Stop Mass Hysteria. We're watching mass hysteria, Logan, aren't we? This hatred that is being disseminated by Biden and Pelosi is very clear. It's made for one reason only. It's to unify the broken left and forcing the average person to forget the horrors of what Biden has and is doing to this nation. Look at what they did. I don't know if you want to segue to what they did to Peter Navarro. I thought we were going to just mention that momentarily. Or we can go to the January 6th event. I want to be very clear. As I witnessed that occurring on television, I turned to my assistant. I said, this is total madness. This is terrible. This is wrong. Why are they breaking in? Why are they breaking windows? It didn't make sense to me. It was all wrong. But so far as I know, Logan, the instigators of that event have by and large been arrested and tried, and some of them are still in jail. So why now do they spend all of this political currency on what is the equivalent of, let us say, Mueller's Russia collusion failed, the Trump witch hunt failed, and go back to the Stalinist show trials and the Salem witch hunt? What are they doing to America? Whatever they are doing doesn't seem to be selling to the average American. And what they did to ex-Trump advisor Peter Navarro is beyond my wildest imagination. Putting a man of that stature in handcuffs and leg irons while being arrested at the Nashville airport on charges of defying the House January 6th committee. Fentanyl dealers in San Francisco are not treated that way, which is why the DA was tossed out in his dirty underwear, that son of terrorists, Chesa Boudin. He let fentanyl dealers, who are largely from Honduras, go because he did not want them to be arrested for selling drugs. Listen to this. Why? Because they would have been deported, and he was opposed to deportation. Everyone knows what was going on in this city. And the majority of people in San Francisco who were very left-wing all got together and said he's got to go. So all these left-wing policies that the Biden gang think are going to propel them into office again in the midterms are completely fraudulent. They're not. It's not selling. Take a look at the gas prices. Take a look at the cost of milk, chicken, eggs, and bread. And we've only seen the beginning, Logan. Wait until October, when the food crisis hits because of the disruption of shipment of wheat and other foodstuffs coming out of Ukraine. Wait until the price of bread is $10 a loaf. And then you will see that the Stalinist show trials, the Salem witch hunt, and the Trump witch hunt that they're trying to reignite will go exactly where they belong, onto the ash can of history.
And Dr. Savage, as we were discussing with a previous guest, now Iran and Venezuela coming together to sell oil. We're still not drilling. We could be buying from Maduro and Khomeini at any time at this point. So, Dr. Michael Savage, thanks for being here. We appreciate your insight as always.
Thanks, Logan. Great show. Keep it up.